Hi everyone, I'm back on Let's Talk About It with Caroline Ramsey, my friend, but also three-time captain at Cornell Field Hockey, and now a member of USA Field Hockey National Program.
Thank you for having me.
I think everyone wants to know what it's like to be part of a USA program. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing with the national team right now?
With field hockey, we are centralized in one spot with the national program. So it's down in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's no professional league in the United States. So then we actually play other national teams throughout the year in what's called Pro League. And then girls have the opportunity to go play pro abroad. But for right now, at least, I'm just going to be moving down to Charlotte.
How did that start for you? Kind of, if someone wanted to go do that, what does that look like?
So my whole journey was definitely a little different. I actually got an email after my junior season, and it was just, hey, come try out for the U21 USA team. I kind of was just like, wow, okay. That's kind of crazy. Didn't really think that was something that I would be even in contention for. The first tryout I went to was January or February of my junior year. I made the team, did not think I was going to make the team. Then I made the travel roster to go to South Africa, did not think I was going to make the travel roster. I went to South Africa in April, and then in July, I made the national team roster, which was just, it was like a whirlwind. 6 months before that was not even thinking any of that was a thing for me. And so it definitely was a lot. A lot of girls normally they start playing with like the development programs growing up through high school and stuff like that. I didn't do that. So like I came in, I knew no one, like they all knew each other, and no one knew who I was either. A lot of girls get there a lot of different ways. So it kind of just depends.
Yeah, I mean, I think yours is also really cool. Not to take anything away from the other women, but you were recognized for the hard work that you were putting in and the success that you were having, naturally, right? You were having fun playing field hockey without maybe that extra part of it. And you were competitive and you were kind of doing it on your own at Cornell. What were the kinds of things that you think that you were doing as a collegiate player that set you apart from other people that helped you get that invitation?
It's really just one thing. Actually, I shoot on corners. So in field hockey, it's like a set play. Normally, corners are a good scoring opportunity, but conversion rates are in like the 20%. My freshman year of college, started learning how to do this thing called a drag flick. Kept learning during COVID and came back in my junior season, and actually was doing it pretty well, and I was pretty successful with it, which was cool, but I think also contributed a little bit to me feeling not the most confident, because I kind of thought like they only like invited me to tryouts and everything like that because I can drag flick, and like every other part of field hockey, which is like 97% of the game, I didn't think I was like anything special at, or like belonged within like the U21 team or the national team or anything. From there, once I started playing with them more, like coming to the realization that like, yeah, I'm good at flicking, but I also am a capable field hockey player, like with like all other aspects of the game. That definitely took a while to figure out.
I think for all athletes, like finding your niche within the sport or finding what you're really good at is important. When I first started playing volleyball, everyone just wanted me to block. And it took me forever to realize that I also could be an offensive player. But sometimes when you find that thing that you're really good at, you need to lean into it and figure out what's going to add value to the team. So I'm glad that you were able to find that. I can imagine that there's maybe a lot of turnover or cuts as you're preparing for these games. What's that like?
It definitely can be pretty difficult. Like I know right now I'm just starting to centralize with the team. So like my spot on the team is a lot different than girls that have been down there for a while, especially because it's an Olympic year. So they're actually at Olympic qualifiers right now and doing really well, which is awesome. And the girls on the team, they're all awesome and super welcoming. And then playing with that intensity and every single person there, like the goal is the Olympics, which is a really, really cool energy to be around. It can be really tough. And like, especially coming in off a college season where my role on the team's a lot different. It's an adjustment and it's a lot different. But I mean, like talking about like wanting to play your sport at like the fastest, highest level you can, like it's a cool experience even to just like go play and like learn from the girls that have been centralized for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
One last question to kind of, finish it up. A bunch of our friends are all going off to, move to New York City, work at these jobs and do kind of these things that are maybe a little bit more stable. Do you have any advice for people who are kind of thinking about kind of going off maybe a little bit on a whim and chasing their dreams? That's not quite the same traditional path.
It's actually funny because this summer was just, I had no idea what I wanted to do and was really just anxious about all of it. I worked this summer in a hospital and was talking to these doctors, and they were like, in 20 years, whether you're 3 years farther ahead than you would have been if you kept playing field hockey or vice versa, like that, like little blip in time isn't going to matter once you're in your forever career. But playing it's our opportunity is now. And once you're done, you're pretty much done. Best advice I could give was you have to love it and you have to really, really want to be doing it. But I mean, to be able to continue to play at a high level, that's just going to set you up for success and give you skills later in life. And 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you won't even really notice the difference. And it's, I guess, the practical way I'm looking at it. And it helped me kind of be okay with it.
No, I mean, I think it's super comforting. You don't have to choose one thing, especially for, I think, women athletes whose sports aren't super big, like knowing that, hey, I can go pursue this dream and enjoy it and still be able to hit all the other life goals. It's an important thing to learn. So. Hey guys, it's Sydney. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk About It. If you did, make sure to leave a review and send it to a friend. Let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you guys next week.